Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you. Today is Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. I am Angela with Happy Little Stitch Shop. And today we are here for our Be Happy Live. We are in the middle of our Be Happy Throwback Sew Along by Lori Holt. This is the quilt we are in the midst of making. And so we're on week 2. We just kicked off week 2 yesterday. And we're getting together to do a little bit of sewing together today. So here's where we're at for week 2. Last week we made like the sunshine block and the 2 trees blocks and all the pinwheel blocks and what else? I feel like there was another one.
The flower in the flower pot.
Oh yeah.
That's the one you made on
the flower pot block. Yes. And this week we are moving on to some butterflies. So I have my single butterfly, which I have ready here. This is super easy, which I have ready here to make with you today. But then I also got ready last night Farmhouse Star blocks. So I'm going to move into this after I finish my butterfly. And then in addition to the single butterfly for this week, we are making more cute butterflies. And we're making the pretty blue flowers block. And we're making some cute spools of thread. And there's another one. So that's what we're making this week. It's super, super cute. Oh my gosh, all of these blocks from this quilt are so darling. They're so cute. They are perfect to be diving into for the summer. They're like, it's just like the perfect summer quilt. Okay, so quick, let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Sharon. I'm not doing Be Happy Quilt, but thought I would sit and watch. I may work on more granny squares while you all sew. Your granny squares are coming together nicely, my friend. I get the feeling that you are enjoying it and that the bug may have bitten you. Because I see granny squares posted left and right, and you blocked some, and it makes such a difference. I saw your post today. Hello, Tammy S. Hello, Ruth P. Hello, Felicia. Hello, Carrie. Hello, Catherine. I made it to Alive twice this week. Yay! Hello, Tammy S. You're going to work on some cross stitch. Hello, Carrie. You're working on the sunshine block. Hello, Huckleberry. I'm not doing Be Happy, but I love hanging with happy little stitchers. Are you doing anything? Are you sewing anything? Or are you just hanging out? Sharon, I'm with you. Cleaning. Oh, that's what you're doing. Cleaning and organizing your sewing room. Those spools are adorable, says Sharon. Fun, 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 says Kathy. Thank you. Yes, I'm glad. Yes, I am. And yes, it has. Oh, good. Says Sharon. Hello, Jen. Hello, Elizabeth. Cutting this week's blocks out while we are together. Yay. Hello, Audrey. Ooh, the truck and trailer is coming next week. Is so fun. Hello, Martha. Jen says, I'm a week behind as always. I sewed last week's pieces. Will be turning and shaping with you. Oh, good. Hello, Vicky. Can't join in today. My girls have swim lessons right now. Hopefully next week. Just wanted to say hello. Well, hello. We miss you, and we look forward to having you join in when you can. I've got Autumn Love out to see if I can salvage it. Oh, good luck, Elizabeth. Hello, Gayleen. So really quick, I've had a lot of questions about some discrepancies that are in the book. So if you are following, first of all, Lori did this sew along back in like 2017, I think it was 2017. And so she's not sewing it again with us. I've had that question. She's not sewing it again with us, but she is she knows what we're doing, and so she's kind of following along, but she's not joining us in it. She's not sewing anything. And all of her blog posts are done because she did all those posts back in 2017 when they did it. So all of her blog posts are out there, which we should be referencing weekly. So I know that I'm referencing them weekly. And every week in my blog, I put the link to her blog post so that you can read, because she gives more detailed instruction and more personalized instruction through her blog post. So it's really worth looking at that each week. But number one, you will notice that some of her fabrics that she's using are different than the ones that we are using. That's because some of the fabrics from 5 years ago are discontinued and no longer available. So through the Be Happy booklet, substitutions were made when they did this book to use current fabrics that we have now. So there could be some fabric differences. Number two, I put the blog post out there for week 2, so be sure you go check that out. And number 3, there are some discrepancies in the book. So when we cut the kit, we cut it from all of the fabric requirement lists that's in the book on page 4. So this is the list that we cut it from, because these are the new fabrics that were made up with this book. But if you look at some of the pictures that go with the cutting portion of the book, if you're following the book, and some of you may not be, but there are some discrepancies between what was called for in the fabric requirements and what is shown in the cutting guide with the pictures. So I'm learning about this as we go along. So far in weeks 1 and 2, I have not come across anything that is different, that there's a discrepancy for. However, in looking ahead, there is one that I know of for sure, which is Cayenne cross stitch. That's the Cayenne X on the cloud background. It's a bee background. It's called for in the cutting guide, but it's not in the fabric requirement. So I was not anticipating discrepancies, and now you have your kit and it's out there, and that's the way that it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to pull from my stash. So in that situation, it'd be really easy to pull another bee background and just use that for that block, because I think it's only called for one block. It's called for the watering can block. So it'd be really easy to just pull something from my stash, or maybe substitute another background from the kit, as long as you feel comfortable enough that you're not going to short yourself for another block. Otherwise, we will have that available in the shop for you. So if you want to have the exact same fabric, it's available for you to order. So that's the only discrepancy that I've come across so far. But as we go through it and as I hear more, I will share it with you. And I will for sure include it in the blog post when I go through and post that stuff. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up about that, because I have been having a lot of people ask me questions about and making me aware that some of these discrepancies exist. So that's what I know. I'm sharing it with you. And I hope that that makes sense. Hello, Gayleen. For the pinwheels, cutting calls for one background being a fan print, not a cross stitch as shown. Oh. Oh, look at that, because I know you said something about those pinwheel blocks, but I didn't catch that when I made my blocks. I went through and I pulled the fabric and I didn't notice any discrepancies, but I remember you sent an email about it. So I'm just going to look quick at the pinwheel, which is on page 31. Okay. Yeah, so I guess I went from the picture on page 31 and I just pulled all of those. Now, the fan fabric that you're talking about, in the cutting guide, it only says honeycomb border and hexie flower block. So I don't see that it says that it was called for the pinwheel block. But I based my fabric pulls off of the pictures, and then I went to the cutting guide to verify that I was pulling the right fabric. So I like looked at the V cross stitch backgrounds and went and saw which ones called for the pinwheel blocks. And then hold on a second because I want to check something. But I doubled the Alpine. Why did I do that? Oh, for that one. I know I cut extra of the Alpine cross stitch fabric. But again, I might be doing it a little bit different than you guys are because I'm not doing all of my cutting up front. So I don't know. I don't know if that helps. I don't know if any of that mumbling and helps you at all. Can't wait to get my kit from you so I can catch up. Yay, Martha. I noticed if we don't make the background larger than it says when we applique the blocks, ends up a bit smaller. From this week on, I'm going to make applique background larger to cut it down. Yes, that's how it is for the rectangular blocks. I noted that in week 1 of the blog, because you don't have rectangular trim it rulers to then trim it down afterwards. So mine was just a smidge smaller. But she says in her blog, if you've been following along in her Be Happy blog, I think it's in week 1, maybe it's in week 2, that she calls for those blocks to be cut to the finished size and they don't get trimmed down. The rectangular blocks don't. So then I've stopped doing that because I don't want to mess up my measurements. So in the book, they give you measurements of how far up from the bottom to place the pieces. And at first I was going to make them a little bit larger and trim down after appliquing, but then I don't want to mess up my placement of the pieces in the block. Because if she's telling us to go a half an inch up based on the block size that she's giving us, well, then it's going to be all off when I try to trim it up. Which you can still trim more off the top, like if you can get it to work out, it would be fine. But I think either way that you do it, whatever you're comfortable with is going to be fabulous. Look at the cutting for the green fan print. That shows cutting for one of the pinwheels. That's what I just looked at. Yeah, I just looked at that. It says the C6390 green cool. It calls for a cut for the honeycomb border and a cut for the hexy flower block, but not pinwheel. Yeah. In my book, it doesn't say pinwheel. Okay, what is she saying now? I got a red handwriting fabric that I cannot find a use for. No, that's called for, Audrey, in the fabric requirements. So if you look at the fabric requirements on page 4, it's called for on page 4. So it's not a substitution, it was called for. But I don't think that it's listed in the cutting guide. On page 7, it says cottage clover fan fabric. It's for pinwheel block. Oh, that's cottage clover. Okay, I was looking at the one above. That's the fan, the actual fan, Yeah, the tea rose clover is used in the. So I did not use that. I used Alpine cross stitch for my pinwheel block because I don't see that on there. So I just used Alpine cross stitch for that. So I don't know. I don't know why it says that. Oh shoot, that's true. I didn't think of placement. I rather say it's nice to have the exact dimensions. So I was in the same boat with you that I was like, okay, I think I'm going to cut it just a tish bigger. And then as I was going to do the placements, I was like, oh no, is this going to cause problems? So when in doubt, better to just trust Lori and do what I'm told to do. So that's what I did. Okay, and Dee's here, so she's going to read while I'm working. But here's my little butterfly. I'm going to start cutting and twisting, turning this, and getting it glued down and ready to applique.
Where'd you leave off?
Felicia.
Here.
Sharon says, totally confused. Oh no, don't be confused. So I've been just pulling fabric. It should all be just fine. I've just been pulling fabrics according to the pictures. Oh, I already snipped it. Cleavage, good. Look at that. I'm ahead of the game. And trust me, there is plenty of fabric in that kit. Holy cow. To just make substitutions if need be. But again, if you want exact fabrics, all of that will be available in the shop. And if you don't see it out there, just contact me because I'm sure that I have it. So how is everybody this week? Are you guys excited to be sewing this adorable kit? Oh my gosh, these pictures are so cute. And we're going to be getting into some good ones pretty soon. Like the flag block is next week. Do you like how I planned that for next week for the 4th of July week that we would make flags? Oh, that's such good thinking. So that flag block is super cute. And that mason jar block is so cute. Oh my gosh. And then the truck and trailer, that's going to be just simply adorable.
Gillian Lazarus says, hi all, almost missed it. Hello from Trinidad and Tobago.
Hello.
Lots of rain here as we're expecting a tropical storm for them this evening.
Oh my goodness. Be safe.
Jennifer Gregory says, Angela's fabric C9711 that shows the pinwheel, not the T-rose.
Yeah, it's the T rose is in there too. So I use T rose because it's listed there. The one right below that one is the Clover T rose, and that one's used for one of the pinwheel blocks. But I did not use the Cottage Clover. I used instead, because that's not pictured in the picture, and I'm following the pictures on each page of the block. So I used instead Alpine Cross Stitch.
Valeria Bauer says, hello everyone.
Hello, Valeria.
Then she says, I'm on my way to Bakersfield, California.
Yes, you are, to see your kiddos. Are you so excited?
Then she says, hugs and kisses to all.
You too. Have safe travels and enjoy your time with your family.
Carrie Tanabe says, I had 2 fabrics missing in my kit. Any idea when will they be available?
What fabrics did you have missing? The ones that I said that would be missing? Did you get a note in your kit that said that the honey, WB6420 honey and WB6422 orange, or vice versa? But those numbers, did you get a note in there that said that those were missing?
She says, yes, I got a note.
Yeah. So those, they are telling me mid to late July, but it's real that is not a solid ETA. So that's why I went ahead and set out the kits without those, because it's just not, it's not solid as to when they are going to be here. But I hope that they will be here by the time we finish this sew along. So then we can add all of that stuff at the end. But I didn't want to hold us up indefinitely. And of course, you know, always make substitutions. I've already seen people make substitutions for the orange plaid because we needed it in the flower pot block. And people have already been making substitutions for that. But as soon as I get those fabrics in, I'm going to get them out the door to people. Right now, the ETA is mid to late July. That is very possible that could change.
Sue says, I wish I could be working on Be Happy. I'm still working on my chickens.
You are. Well, enjoy those little chickens while you're working on them. My chicken quote came back from Kim yesterday. Oh my gosh. It's so pretty. As soon as it got here, I wanted to stop doing, I wanted to stop adulting, and I wanted to put the rickrack and the binding on that cutie pie quilt. So cute.
Carrie Snobby says, okay, thank you, Angela.
You're welcome. Yeah, this one, I don't know. It was, kept being delayed with this fabric, which, by the way, I had ordered last fall. So it's not like I was ordering it late, and I had ordered the fabric last fall, and it was supposed to ship to me in January, and it started to ship to me in January, but then I didn't get all of it. Like, typically under normal supply demand chain circumstances, I would get all of it at the same time, but that was not the case this time. So it's a little wonky right now with the fabric. This isn't normal. This is a little unusual, but I'll be darned if it was going to throw our Be Happy summer off course. And so we're still jumping in, even though everything's not perfect. So thank you for bearing with Happy Little Stitch Shop during these times that are kind of out of our control. I really appreciate it, and just kind of rolling with it, because at this point, it's just what we have to do. Here's my butterfly. It's done. Lickety split. I just have to, I like to put my stuff, once I glue baste it, I like to put it under something heavy. So I'm going to do that and let it sit for a while. And then later on, I will put that on there, and then I set something on top of it. So later on, I will do the applique, and then I will trim it up, and that one will go in my Be Happy Done pile. Yay! Now I'm going to move on to, I have my 4 8-inch circles to finish up for Farmhouse Star. I've got my 12 and 10 done. And then I ran out of interfacing, but it's back. I have interfacing now, and so I'm going to finish these up quick this week, and then move on to the next stuff. Jen, did you decide what you're going to do with your stars? Are you going to leave them? I kind of hope you leave them, but it's up to you, obviously. So I'm curious what you decided.
Louise Armstrong says, hello, happy 4th of July early to everyone from
Hello.
Delland, Florida.
Hello, Louise.
Sharon Snow says, how did the little one react to it?
She was pretty excited. I got some video. Did I get a picture? I don't think I got a picture, just video. But she was pretty excited. And then she got up from her nap. I had it laid out on the ground. She came over and she was like, oh. And then she kind of walked closer, and she was kind of walking around it, like looking at it. And then she got down and she wanted to touch it, and she wanted to touch the buttons. And she said, is Kim going to send some more pictures? And I said, well, no, because the quilt is here. So she's not going to send pictures. And she was like, oh. She goes, when are you going to put those things on that you said you were going to put on? I said, what things? And she goes, I don't know, those things that you said you had to put on. And I said, oh, the rickrack and the binding. And she said, yeah. And I said, those go around the edge. And, I hope to get them on soon. And she said, and then I can use it. And I said, I think so. And then Dee was there, and she said, but Nora, don't you think that mom should have it? Don't you think that mom should have it? And she said, no, I don't think so. She's like, I don't think so. I think that it should be for me. So she's excited about it.
Louise Armstrong says, would love to see it.
The chicken quilt. So I'm hoping it's probably probably going to hang it up for Thursday. So during our live on Thursday, I will either share it or it'll be hung up for you guys to see behind me. Like I'll either hold it up and show it or it'll be hanging. I would really love to get the rickrack and the binding done by Thursday, but I'm not sure that that's going to happen. This week is a little crazy.
Carrie Tsunami says, I've been using the Sue Daily glue pen and like it better than the liquid glue. No waiting for it to dry. Will you get any of the glue refills?
Yeah, I can totally do that. They hadn't really been selling as much, and so I was debating about reordering, but that's great to know. So yeah, I can get more refills, absolutely.
Jennifer Gregory says, I'm going to leave them. I don't want to redo all those. LOL. At least the points aren't cut off. That would be worse.
Yeah, right. Then it might be a situation where there's not an alternative, but I wouldn't want to redo all of those either. And I honestly don't think you're going to even notice it once it's all done.
Sharon Snow says, haha, she is so cute.
She's very excited about it. Like I think I told you guys, we're talking about getting rid of her toddler bed and doing a big girl bed, and she wants that to be on her bed. All the little chickens.
Jennifer Gregory says, my stars are coming out smaller than hers. Now I'm worried about the circle backgrounds because it will really show if the points go to the edge of the circle, you know. Or if the points don't go to the edge of the circle.
So you might have a little bit of wiggle room with that based on how much you put underneath the center part. You know, I don't know if my dimensions are exactly the same as Lori's or not. I haven't checked. But there's a little bit of wiggle room. You know, Lori's so smart. She's put wiggle room in everything. Just like that chicken salad border. Oh my gosh, my border was not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. But that scrappy sashing and scrappy border were so forgiving. I was like, I'm not ripping this out and doing it over a million times. I'm leaving it. So there might be some wiggle room there. I hope you don't run into any problems with it. I feel like there might be enough wiggle room that you'll be okay. Fingers crossed. That's me being optimistic.
Valeria says, Angela, did you receive my email?
No. Yes. Maybe. You need to know reservation information. Is that the email you're talking about? I did get that email. I have not had a chance to put together a list for you yet, but I will. This week's going to be crazy, so it might not happen this week. It likely will not happen this week.
Valeria says, yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Louise Armstrong says, we'll look forward to Thursday.
Yes. I've got so much stuff to share with you guys on Thursday. Oh my gosh. It's going to be one of those bringing so many things back from the shop because there's so much to share. Oh, some of you have reached out to me and asked about Holly Jolly quilt kits because I know that you've been seeing them. I do have the Holly Jolly quilt kits in. I have not invoiced for them yet because I was hoping that the yardage would be arriving soon. So then I could add any backing sets onto people's invoices that they wanted. And then you wouldn't have to, you know, order it and have it shipped separately. So, but I wasn't getting any notification of it coming. So I was going to get ready to send those invoices. Well, then I got shipment notification that the collection's on its way to me. So first I'm going to be doing stitch along invoices. And then I will send Holly Jolly. And coming soon, Pixie Noel too.
Judy Delay says hello, Angela and all.
Hello, Judy. Thank you for joining us today. Are you working on anything?
Sharon Snow says, "LOL, Angela, you need to be a politician." No, yes, maybe.
I've covered all my bases. No, yes. At first I was like, no, I didn't receive an email from you. And then I was like, oh, yes. Maybe. Are we talking about the same one? I'm not quite sure. So, yes, we're on the same page.
Judy says lunch, LOL.
You're working on lunch?
Leanne W gave you a super chat.
Leanne! Thank you so much, Leanne. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can really honestly cannot wait because I know that you guys would like to see what I'm doing down here. And so I really am kind of starting to get excited and anxious about getting that overhead camera so that you can watch what's going on. But it will be, I would like to do a split screen. So it'll be like back in the day. Do you remember those movies? What was it? Was it Bye Bye Birdie, where they did the split screen? And it was like a big, huge deal that they were able to do the split screen. Wasn't it that where Anne Margaret was on one side, like doing something, taking a bath maybe? And the guy, what was his name? I have the song now playing in my head. What's the story? Morning Glory, what's Dale and Gale? Did you hear about, what are their names? Something and something. Oh my gosh, I don't remember. But it's like the split screen. Like that was a huge deal at that time. And I'm bringing it to YouTube. That's what I would like. I would like to bring the split screen back.
Leanne says Hugo and Kim.
Hugo and Kim. Thank you, Leanne. That was going to drive me crazy until I could look it up.
Sharon says Rock Hudson and Doris Day did that in some movies too.
They did. Pillow Talk, maybe. Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite movies. I love Doris Day. She's one of my favorite like old Hollywood actresses. Oh my gosh. I really like her. I think they did do that in Pillow Talk.
Sharon says I love her too.
She's one of my favorite. She's very genuine, very nice. As if I know her personally, but she seems very, very nice.
Valeria gave you a super chat.
Valeria! Thank you so much, my friend. Super nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My gosh, these blocks, these farmhouse star blocks go together so, so fast. And I would like to know, for those of you who are doing Be Happy, what block are you like looking forward to the most? Do you have a block that you can't wait to get to because you're really excited to make it? Because there are so many cute ones.
Stephanie Diller says, hello, my friends. Last night I got all of my painting done and furniture in place in my craft room. If all goes well for the rest of the day, I'll be unpacking my stuff tonight.
Yay! That is so exciting.
Catherine Gomes says, Bye Bye Birdie. Is that a movie or just a song?
It's a movie. It is a movie with Anne Margaret. She was really the big name in there. I don't know what the guy who was like kind of a take on Elvis. I don't know what his name was. That's a movie that I'd like to see, the new one that is coming out about Elvis. I've heard that it's very good.
Felicia says the truck with the dog, and of course the bees.
Oh, yeah, those cute little bees are so darling. Yeah, the truck with the dog. That's going to be a fun one. That's coming up soon. I think that's like the ultimate. That's going to be like the height of the so long. Because I don't think any other ones are as big as that one. I feel like that's the pinnacle of this quilt. Is that true? Well, yeah, I think that block is the biggest. The mason jar block is cute. And that beehive block is super cute. And the needle minder that's coming out with calico, calico looks just like that. We're going to have a matching needle minder. Yeah, the mason jar block, the truck and trailer block, and that beehive block might be my favorites. The flag I like though too. But those other ones are so cute. Oh, it's so cute. It's going to be so much fun to put that together. Then we're going to have another Lori quilt at the end of the summer. Oh, I can hardly stand it. I'm really tempted to do that swoon thing that you people are talking about. I saw somebody post something, Amanda, I think it was Amanda, post something about if people are interested in doing the summer swoon along. Nantucket summer is so pretty that I will not be able to do it, but I am very tempted to do it. But at the end of this summer, we're going to have Be Happy. We're going to have Farmhouse Star, which is going to be gorgeous. Cozy Christmas. Granny Square. Hopefully, if I can manage to make that happen, I will have 4 quilts or 3.5 or 2 3/4 by September.
Catherine says, wasn't that split screen?
What?
Bye bye, Brittany.
Yeah, I think so. I think there were parts of that were split screen. It was a big deal at that time. I can remember my mom saying, oh, that was such a huge deal when they did the split screen. I was like, what? Why is that a big deal?
Audrey Martin says yes, the truck and the trailer block. It has been so fun to work on. Next, the beehive.
It's so fun. And I feel like it's very, there's like a sprinkling of really like that butterfly block that I just did in the first 5 minutes of this live stream. It went super fast. So even though there are lots of blocks in that quilt, some of them are super easy that they go together really, really fast, which then makes the whole quilt very manageable.
Judy says Bye Bye Birdie was a movie from 1963.
Is that when it came out? 1963.
Carrie says definitely the truck and dog is my favorite.
Now, will any of you change the dog to a cat or change the colors, or will you keep it as is?
Valeria says all my 3 daughters played the main actress in Bye Bye Birdie in Kuwait.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All 3 of them?
Judy says yes, that's what Google tells me. I wasn't born yet.
Oh, well, me either. But I remember watching it with my mom as a kid.
Valeria says yes.
That is so funny that they all played the same part. That didn't happen to any of me and any of my sisters.
Sharon says, "LOL, Judy. I was 1 year old."
You were 1 year old in 1963. Wait. To know placement. You're too busy watching me.
No, I'm caught up.
Ooh. Like right now, it would be really nice for you guys to
Well, now they're talking.
see what I'm doing.
Oh. That makes sense. Sharon says, "Yep, I leave my 50s in August."
In August. Oh, how do you feel about that? Does it bother you, or you're like, doesn't matter? It's just a
Felicia
number.
says, "I didn't even think about making the dog personalized."
Yeah, like turning it into a cat, or in Vintage Christmas, I turned the dog black and white to match our Henry instead of brown like it was.
Valeria says, "My youngest was the main singer for Grease, and her voice was so strong she didn't need a microphone."
Oh my goodness. We didn't do those plays.
Sharon says, "Not thrilled, LOL."
Oh, really? I didn't think you would care. I didn't think you would bother you that much.
Valeria says, "It was amazing, and of course I cried like a baby."
Oh, I'm sure. Gosh, that was me at the kids' spring concert.
Why?
Because your oldest brother was doing such a good job on the
Oh,
percussion that I was not. I mean, I was just not prepared to have that kind of reaction from myself. Although it doesn't take much. Anytime there's music involved, I don't know, I can get emotional. It's not hard for me. I have a very strong emotional response to music.
Who is this?
Huh?
Who is that?
Martha.
Martha says, "I put 2 girls in my vintage Christmas for my 2 girls and left out the Santa. I also embroidered their first initials on the dresses."
Nice.
Gillian Lazarus says, "Age is just a number. For me, I don't feel a day over 25."
See, there you go. It's just a number. I think my keeping track of my age stopped at 30 when I started having kids. I got one. See? Ta-da! I gotta glue it. Oh my gosh. I almost glued it to the design board. I was going to glue the whole circle to the design board. Don't do that. I'm pretty sure that is not in Lori's instructions. So don't do that.
Sharon says, that's neat, Martha. Sure, Angela, you can't even admit you need bifocals.
Sharon, age is just a number. Bifocals are just glasses.
Judy says, Sharon, it's your birthday. You can be any number you want to be.
Be the boss of your own birthday. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I love these little stars. Oh. What are people doing for 4th of July? Do people have big 4th of July plans, or do you have like regular 4th of July traditions that you do? That's what I would like to know. That's what my inquiring mind wants to know.
Ilian says, I'll be 45 next month. When I was in my early 20s, I thought people in their 40s were old, but I don't feel old. I have to remind myself sometimes of my age.
Me too. I always have to do the math now. Somebody asks me how old I am, and I'm like, I don't know. How old am I? You tell me. And then I look to my husband and I say, how old am I? I honestly do not remember. Okay, I'm going to let this sit for like all of 15 seconds, and then I'm going to put it on the background. I don't have a lot of patience. I just like it on the background. I felt that way. So I had this realization when I was watching this. Elvis has been on my mind a lot lately. Maybe it's because this new movie is coming out. I don't really know. I was talking to my mom about it. She was a big Elvis fan. I was talking to her about it on Saturday. And then I came across this like mini documentary that they did years ago, which I feel like maybe I had seen before, but I completely forgot about it. So I was watching that, sucked me in. I got interested in it. And he was only 42 when he passed away. And I remember when I was little thinking, man, that man looks really old. You know, like he looked really old to me as a child. But watching this documentary, I was like, he does not look old, and he's only 42. That was crazy to me. Like I thought he was older than that. Sad.
Catherine Gomes says me in September.
What?
Her birthday's in September.
It is. Happy early birthday.
Elizabeth Lembaki says we're going tent camping in Door County.
Elizabeth, where are you going in Door County? Where do you stay? I want to know if you stay at the same place that we stay.
Judy says for the Be Happy quilt, do you need the shape templates?
Yes. Yep. We have them in the shop. We have a ton of them in the shop.
Martha says, thank you, Sharon. I just knew I would change it and make it different. About changing your age.
Oh.
Yes. Felicia says, Florida summer heat calls for a day at the neighborhood pool and fireworks after dark.
Yes, that sounds like a pretty awesome 4th of July day.
Sharon says, Angela, 6 kids might be why you can't remember your age. LOL.
It could be. Oh my gosh. I started to feel like, oh, it's right here. For the love of Peter. I'm like, where is that ruler? It's right here. I remember feeling at one point when the kids were little and we had so many doctor's appointments, like all the time. I placed that perfectly. If only we had an overhead camera so that you could see it. But that is perfect. We had doctor's appointments all the time. And it got to be to the point that they're like, okay, birthdays were not hard because 4 of them are on one day. So that's not hard. But all of their medical information, they would ask, like, who's had this done? Who's had this done? Who's had this done? And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I felt like the people, somebody once said that Mrs. Kennedy, Rose Kennedy, took an index card box with all of her kids' medical information on it every time they went to the doctor. And that thought occurred to me. Look! Ah! And then it'll be turned up once I applique, but oh my gosh, it's so cute. All right, this one is ready to sit and dry.
Catherine Gomes says, I always think you should be thankful you make it to your next birthday. Age doesn't bother me a bit.
I agree. Age doesn't really. Sharon's going to beg to differ to beg, but I sound like your dad. My husband always mixes up sayings on purpose, just to
Sometimes
be.
he doesn't.
Just because he thinks it's funny, but age doesn't really bother me either. Apparently, just bifocals. Okay.
Naomi Ingram says, Staunton, Virginia, home of the Statler brothers. For years, Statler. I'm sorry. Statler brothers.
Elba.
For years, we had Happy
Counting
Birthday
flowers
USA
on
with
the wall.
all kinds of famous country music entertainers. Now the sons of 2 of the Statlers do it. We will go to that.
Oh, that sounds so nice. Did you hear me singing Counting Flowers on the Wall? You know that song. Counting Flowers on the Wall.
Yeah.
And Elvira, my heart's on fire. Oh, we need to educate you on some music.
Stephanie says, this year we are meeting my husband's family in Sandusky, Ohio to go camping for a long weekend. They live in Pennsylvania, so that's about the halfway point for all of us. It should be a blast.
So nice. I love hearing about summer plans like that because it just feels totally summer. I love that.
Judy says, my husband was 46 when he passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is so young. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry to hear that, Judy.
Stephanie says, I always say the older I get, the older old gets.
It's true. It's true. I agree with that.
Tammy S says, love, love, love Dark County, Elizabeth.
Us too. We are hoping to sneak away this summer if we can. I don't know. All of those little trips seem to be hopes and they never become reality. So we'll see.
Sharon says, you needed Lori's planner back then.
I did. That would have been helpful. I pull out my cute little book with all the information.
Tammy says, you're having a day like I had this weekend.
Where things were right in front of your nose and you couldn't find them. Oh my gosh.
Audrey says, family coming and fireworks after dark. We'll have all kids and grandkids too for a few days.
Oh, that'll be so nice. Those are the types of things that those kids will remember. You know, events, gatherings like that. They'll look back and that will fill them with nostalgia when they're older.
Naomi says, I'm impressed, Angela.
The Statler brothers, Huckleberry. Grew up listening to them. One of my mom's favorites.
Sharon says, Angela, you almost sounded Southern.
Oh my gosh. So I went to college in Minnesota and they said that I had a Southern accent. Everybody that I met at college was like, oh my gosh, you have a Southern accent. I was like, what? I'm from like 8 hours south from where we are right now. Like, I'm pretty sure I don't have a Southern accent. It was very funny. So that reminded me, you saying that reminded me of that. I will never sound as Southern as you.
Judy says, thank you.
You are welcome. That's hard path, my friend.
Elizabeth Glimbaki says, we're going to be in Sturgeon Bay.
Oh, that's not where we stay. We do not stay in the same place. But, oh my gosh, Door County would be so fun. And do you travel up into the peninsula?
Martha said, Judy, I'm so sorry. My condolences go out to you. Hugs.
Yes, yes, yes.
Elizabeth says, I've never been to Door County, but hear great things.
You've never been to Door County. Elizabeth. You're going to love it. Right?
Yes.
Do you like going there like as often as we can? Even though we've been there before, you still like going back?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So you got to stop at Wilson's. What else are some good stops?
That beach in Sister Bay.
Oh, that's our secret place. Pebble Beach?
No, the other one. The one by the park where those ginormous waves were on that really windy day.
Oh, yeah. That's just like the town park there in town, I think.
In the road to the ferry.
Oh, the windy road to the tip of the peninsula to, what's the name of that town?
I don't remember. Doesn't it go to like Washington Island though?
Well, the ferry does, but I don't remember what that town is. Yeah, there's a really windy road that we go on with the kids. I mean, it's been a few years since we've been able to get up there. I think the last time we were there, I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. And so we go on this road, and it's like, it's so beautiful if you get a picture of it. There are some pictures out there of it in the fall. It's just gorgeous with all the different leaves, colored leaves. But we'd take the kids on it, and in the back, they would go, whoa, whoa. And they would like crush each other from side to side. And sometimes they would put blankets over their head so they couldn't see what was coming, and they would just like react to what was going on. But I have video of them from when they were little, just giggling and laughing so hard going down that road. Simple things.
Catherine says our first granddaughter and first grandchild is due on the 4th of July.
Oh my gosh. That is so exciting. Wonder if they will arrive on the 4th.
Felicia says, learn to line dance to Elvira.
Elvira?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, line dancing. That'd be a fun song to line dance to.
Stephanie says, "How does your dog handle fireworks? Ours are petrified, and it breaks my heart to watch them be so scared."
Yeah. Yeah, it's a real thing, not only for dogs, but for other people, veterans, and people who have gone through traumatic experiences like that. But yes, Henry does not care for it. He starts shaking. He doesn't like thunderstorms either. He gets like as close to you as he possibly can. The other time, day when we were having a little storm, he was like climbing up on me. And I was like, "What are you doing? Sit down. Get off of me." I'm right here. Like, you can't, become one with me. Like, just sit down. I'm right here. You are safe. All is well. I will keep you safe. But, so yeah, Henry does not like that stuff.
Audrey says, "With all family coming, I'm giving up my bedroom and sleeping in the sewing room. Not a problem."
Not a problem. Yes, we do that sometimes too. You got to do what you got to do when you got a house full of people.
Judy says, "Is it Gills Rock?"
I think it is. Yes. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds right. Because if you go straight, that's one town. But then if you turn to the right, it goes to, I think it's Gills Rock. I think that's right. That windy road is so fun. Sequest. That's another fun place to go. PT Junction. That's a fun place to go.
Stephanie says, "The shaking part is what makes me so sad."
Yeah. Yeah, I once worked with a coworker years and years ago whose dogs were terrified of storms, and they would kennel them, like put them in their kennels when they would be gone at work, hoping that it would help when storms were expected. And this one day we got a horrible storm right in the middle of the workday, and she was like, "I have to go home and check on my dogs." And so she went home and checked on her dogs, and the poor things were trying to get, like, they were scratching at the kennel and biting at the kennel because they were so anxious, and did a lot of damage to themselves just out of the anxiety that they had from these storms that were going on. So that was really sad. It's a real thing for animals. They get very scared.
Elizabeth said, "I had a lab that chewed through a fiberglass shower surround because she was terrified of a storm."
It's so sad. And it's really hard to, figure out something to comfort them. That's the harder part, I think. Like, if I could comfort him in some way, then it would be more tolerable. But they just get, ooh, there's no comforting. Oh my gosh, we're already over an hour. I'm going to finish the second one. I'm finishing 2 today, people, and I'm going to show you the second one. I got a butterfly, and I will have 2 farmhouse star blocks done and 2 more to go to finish out all of my circle blocks. And then I get to do all of those cute single fabric blocks. And those will be, Lori showed such a smart way of doing the interfacing with those. So I'm excited to give that a try. Huckleberry Counting Flowers on the Wall is on my playlist. It's very funny because this one right here, one time when she was younger, she went out for a run and she had like some earbuds with a playlist playing. And she came into the house after the run with the earbuds on, music still playing, so she couldn't really hear how loudly she was singing. And she walked in, and this is this isn't right. That's not the right one. But I'm leaving it. She walked in, and the part she was singing was smoking cigarettes when watching Captain Kangaroo. Now don't tell me. She was singing that part, and I was like, there's my girl talking about smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo.
Martha says, Catherine, how exciting. And then Catherine says, we're so excited, especially since it's a girl. We had boys.
So sweet. So sweet.
Martha says, Audrey in the craft room, that's great. At least you can look at all the fabrics in there.
You'll have sweet dreams. Sweet, wonderful dreams. Okay. I cannot believe that it's the 4th of July. Like, how did we get there already? It seems like summer just started. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love these blocks. Okay. I'm running out of rulers. Get a sedative from the vet food. Oh, well, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that. Could do that. I bet some people do that. I've just never done that.
Elizabeth says, could you talk about the Cozy Christmas quilts along? I'm interested in sewing along for my stash.
Yes. I haven't talked a lot about it because I haven't formed a concrete plan in my mind yet. But I know that my plan is to do it in July. I need to come up with a schedule, which I will then post, and blog about. My problem is I want to be kind of ambitious with it, and the blocks are not hard. They're very easy. There aren't a lot of parts to them, which means that it'll go pretty quickly. And so I'm tempted to get through it pretty fast, like try to do it in the month of July. Here's number 2. So, but I don't want to turn people off from trying to squeeze too much into a short period of time. So that's where my hang up is right now. Do we spread this out over like the rest of the summer, or do we try to like squeeze it in and get it done in a short period of time, just in the month of July? So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to figure out what to do. Guys, I got 2 farmhouse star blocks done with you guys today. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Now those can dry and they'll be ready to applique. And I have 2 more sitting right here that are laid out and ready to go. So excited about that. All my little teeny tiny scraps. Let's see. Huckleberry says, Audrey, that's my name. That's my mom's name. She'll be 89 tomorrow. Oh my goodness. Jen says, I still need borders on my other Merry Christmas quilt from last year. Me too. I still haven't done that bow border. I have the little border on, the thin border. I just got to add the bow border. Still talking myself into that one. So me too. You and me both, Jen. Happy birthday to your mom. My granddaughter's name is Audrey. Oh my goodness, all the Audreys out there. So that's it for our happy little sewing hour. I have started to send invoices, so keep an eye on your email for that. Invoices for monthly stitch alongs and floss leagues and stuff like that. So I'm really focused on trying to get as much of that done today as possible. And then what I don't get done today, I'll continue to work on and get done, throughout the rest of the week. So thank you so much for sewing with me, you guys. I hope that you had fun getting together and having a little chat and getting some sewing time in. And I'm totally understanding your requests for an overhead camera so that you can see what I'm doing. So we are working on that. We're going to try to figure that out, hopefully sooner rather than later. Because as we're doing more of these, I totally get it that you would like to see what I'm actually working on. So we hear what you're saying. We're working on it. We hope to have a solution in place soon. So thank you so, so much, you guys. I will see you on Thursday. I hope you will join us for our quilting live stream on Thursday, right here on our Happy Little Stitch Shop YouTube channel. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can hang out with our community and join us for all fun things that we are doing. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. I hope to see you on Thursday, and thank you so, so much for sewing with me today. I really, really appreciate it. Have a fabulous day, you guys. Happy stitching. Take care.